all right. So we're residents of Pennsylvania, and I knee-jerk reaction. Don't trust Josh Shapiro, right? The guy seems weaselly. He seems slimy. You don't see him in the press a lot. He doesn't do a lot of public appearances. They're all strategic. So I don't know why I dislike it. Because here's my experience with Shapiro. When we have like things like, oh, this has happened in this part of the country and Democrats are doing this and whatever, and then they list the states that are doing it, like horribly redistricted to the point where we lose seats. Like there's an example, we're not on that list. We're not on that list. We're not on that list. The actions that I've seen, in fact, the only action I've seen physically happen is how fast he got the 95 collapse taken care of. It was actually really impressive, and that earns points for me. My governor got right on it because that's a major problem. 95 collapses right in like Center City, Philadelphia. You need to get that fixed fast, and he dove on it and made it happen. Even though there was that picture of fucking Christie sitting in it.
Yeah.
My favorite Christie meme, man. It's the best. But but why do I dislike? I don't trust him. Am I just biased?
Here's what I will say. Once again, we're going cold. So I would have to do some research on it. We could do research quick on this, but I'm pretty sure he's got a lot of Soros dollars behind him.
Okay.
He's got a lot of Soros money, which is what got him in. Here's my problem with Josh Shapiro is that I don't hate him. And every time I hear him talk, unless he's doing like party line stuff, where
Right.
he's saying stuff that, but when he's just talking about things he wants to do better for Pennsylvania and all that kind of stuff, Eagles, rooting for the Eagles, like he really seems like a hometown guy. You know what I mean? I felt bad when that nut job trying to burn his house down.
Yeah.
Which I would have thought it was a false flag if they really turned him into a Trumper, but he wasn't. I think that Josh Shapiro is of the Zoran Mamdani mode in that he is extremely likable. He is extremely likable, and that's why he's the governor. He's extremely likable, and he's the type of guy that can. If you look at Gavin Newsom right now is going on. He's going on the I'm likable tour. He's going on conservative podcast. He just on Sean Ryan show. He's going on conservative podcasts to kind of try and go in the middle and kind of centerize himself.
He's
That's what.
people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
After that, Anna Paulina Luna, Joe Rogan appearance yesterday.
Okay, no. We're not going interdimensional beings, and you talk about Luna, and we will get distracted.
But all I'm saying is that she made it easier for me to believe that lizard people exist, and if there is a lizard person, Gavin Newsom is definitely a lizard person.
But you saying Shapiro's not lizard people?
I don't think Josh Shapiro is lizard people. I think Josh Shapiro is just a good soldier for the left. He's well funded by Open Society, which is George Soros. He's installed, and it's part of the team. Larry Krasner, who was the DA of Philadelphia, he got $4 million from Mark Zuckerberg when he ran for prosecutor in Pennsylvania, at DA, lead prosecutor, whatever it is. And, so what you have is you have a Soros installed governor, and then you have a Soros installed DA in the biggest city, in the city that drives the whole state. You know, so how many other people in the government are that way? Look at my congresswoman. You want to talk about gerrymandering? You were talking about how Pennsylvania is not on that list. I don't believe it. My district, PA 06, in like 2017 or 2018 got expanded out because our map wasn't fair. And what it got expanded into was an area that is all blue. And since then, we've had a blue congresswoman, and she votes lockstep with Pelosi and all that kind of stuff. So you can see where you got Shapiro, you got Houlihan in my district, you got Krasner. There's just 3 examples. And that's how they just lock down and they keep this messaging.
Right, but overall, is Shapiro a bad governor? Is he bad for Pennsylvania? Other than Krasner, we know that Philly's a disaster right now, so Krasner, bad. But is Josh Shapiro a bad governor?
A lot of times what you're going to find is that this guy's going to be great at doing things like getting 95 up and running and making everybody happy. But then when it comes
to do that, look at the Pacific Palisades.
That's a different story.
Right. But it's a parallel. It's a disaster that needed to be solved immediately, and obviously it's not solved. 95 collapse needed to be solved immediately. Sure, it's a great PR moment, but it still needed to be done, and he got it done.
I'm going to assume that the amount of money that is being funneled through California is so vast, is such a successful operation that They don't really care about the people because why would you care about the it's like you have sports franchises. Sports franchises will spend enough money to make their team good enough to be competitive so that they can continue to be profitable. They don't have to be champions to be billionaires. You know what I mean? And a city like Pennsylvania, I'm sure generates a lot of money, but it's not generating California ignore people, burn them down money. You
No,
know,
just train disaster, ignoring money.
yeah. But here's something to watch, and we'll leave it on this. I forget what it's called, but it's something that's starting to rise to prominence, and it has to do with vehicle distance monitor. It's like VDM. Maybe that's what it is, VDM, or it's something along those lines. Vehicle distance monitoring, and it's big in Massachusetts right now, and they're slowly doing this where they're instituting things where they are tracking all of your miles, and then the idea is that they're going to try and have you reduce the amount of miles that you drive in a year or in terms of climate change. But
Yeah, I
this
was
is
about
the
to
type
say
of thing.
predicated on what? Carbon
It's
emissions?
also it's working into these 15-minute cities, these digitally run cities that we're trying to get away from CBDCs and all that kind of stuff, which is the side of Trump that's bad. This is where a guy like Shapiro, they're like, man, this guy's doing great for the state. He's doing terrific for the state. Building up 95 just so he can tell you you're not allowed to drive on it. Because when it comes to the stuff that's important, that's what you got to worry about.
It is something he's pushing.
I haven't seen anything about him pushing it, but it's
That's
going
my
through in the
point.
blue. But
That's
no, but here's the thing.
my
This
point.
is so early.
We don't know what he's doing half the time. That's why.
What I'm telling you is that you do is because when this stuff starts to become prominent, Pennsylvania will be one of those states. You know what I mean? Like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the sanctuary. There's a lot of sanctuary things here in Pennsylvania for migrants. You know, my county just got knocked off of one of the sanctuary counties in Pennsylvania. But if we had a red governor, there would be no sanctuary, nothing in Pennsylvania. That's what I'm saying. Is that you do know if you pay attention to those. That's what I'm saying is that he appears great. ATLES. I'm at 95 with a shovel in my hand. All that kind of stuff. You know
You
what I
get
mean?
Christie off the bridge. Get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then look, he's young, he's in shape, he's Jewish, he's good looking guy, he's got everything. He's perfect. He's perfect for that role of likable guy who says stuff like, "Oh, I think it's best for the climate that you drive 2,000 miles a year less."
Okay. Well, see, that's sneaky, and that tracks with what I think. What I think of. I just don't have any justification for it because honestly, he's hard to get information from. Like you don't see, like Gavin Newsom's all over the place. Like he lets you know who he is at all times, even though he's saying one thing, but you can see through that, you know who he is. Kathy Hochul's all over the goddamn place. Josh Shapiro, never see him. I also
I
don't
think
watch like network news, so maybe I'm missing it there. But if he was doing something of significance, I would think that the people I watch would shred him.
I think you're going to see a lot of Josh Shapiro maybe moving in like 2026 and forward.
You think he's going
Because
for it in 28?
yeah, because he was one of the front runners for 24, and I think that they held on to him and they threw Tampon Tim out there because they knew it was a losing case. So why not just throw out a couple of punching bags?
That was my original thought, but then I got word. I heard Josh said he didn't want to do it, like he declined.
But yeah, that's what they told you.
That's
Josh.
something
You
I'm
know,
not.
no, that's
He is
okay. I don't
not
want to be
dumb.
I don't want to be vice president. I don't want to be vice president. Let me tell you something. That's not how it works. Here's how it works. Hey, Josh, you're up. Good luck. Get Kamala, elected.
Yeah, you're right.
Here's your chance.
Yeah,
Or
that's
or
not as
or they go like this. Wait a minute, this guy's pretty good. We got a chance with him. So we're gonna hold him back. Josh, here's what you're gonna say. You're gonna say that you've decided not to because you really want to focus on the state of Pennsylvania that you love because you became governor. You really want to focus on this job and maybe down the road you'll be president. All right, yeah, that's what I'll say. Man, let me tell you something. Josh, do not want to run for vice president. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to
All
be
right.
vice president.
Well, you just proved my point. He's a very good politician in the fact that he knows when not to be flashy.
A very good politician in the fact that that's why he's governor.
Yeah.
That's why he's governor of what are we maybe the fourth largest state from like a per capita
I don't know.
perspective.
Well,
You know,
I hate to say this, but I guess we could do worse. You know what I mean?
look, we could definitely do worse.
We could have
You know,
Phil Murphy.
we could definitely do worse. Yeah, we could have Phil Murphy. God, that guy's hateable. But I hope that guy Chitterelli beats him. But anyway, yeah, no, Phil Murphy. You could have worse, but you could also have a whole hell of a lot better.